It was a cold, stormy evening, and the rain was pouring so heavily that even the streets seemed to cry. But what broke the heart most was not the sound of thunder, it was the fragile sobs of a little girl sitting on the side of the road, clutching her broken crutch, drenched and trembling. And it was at that very moment, when she thought the whole world had abandoned her, that a black luxury car slowed down beside her. The tinted window rolled down, and a deep, gentle voice said the words that would change her life forever, "Come with me." If you're watching this right now, you'll want to stay until the end, because what happens next is something that will remind you why kindness still matters in a world that often forgets it. And if stories like this touch your heart, don't forget to like this video and subscribe, it helps us bring more real, emotional journeys to you. The man who spoke those words was Daniel Hart, a millionaire CEO known for his sharp business mind and cold, untouchable demeanor. But very few people knew the truth about him. He was a single dad, raising his young son after the tragic passing of his wife. Daniel's life was divided between corporate meetings, sleepless nights, and the aching loneliness that no amount of money could erase. His heart had been shut off from the world, until this rainy evening when fate placed a broken child in his path. The girl, no older than 9 or 10, looked up at him with wide, terrified eyes. Her lips quivered as she whispered, "Please. I don't want to be a burden." Her name was Lily, and life had already been crueler to her than to most. She had lost her parents in a car accident 2 years ago and was left in the care of relatives who treated her disability as a curse, not a condition. Tonight, after being yelled at for being useless and too slow, she had run away into the storm, with nowhere to go. Daniel stepped out of his car, not caring that the rain soaked through his expensive suit. He crouched in front of her, his eyes softening in a way his employees had never seen. "You are not a burden," he said firmly. "You're a child. And no child deserves to be left alone in the rain. Come with me." He held out his hand. At first, Lily hesitated. She had learned the hard way that promises often broke. But something about the sincerity in his voice, the way he didn't look at her crutch or her weakness, but at her, made her slowly reach out. When Daniel brought her home, his young son Ethan peeked out from the staircase. "Dad, who's that?" he asked with innocent curiosity. Daniel gave a small smile. "This is Lily. She's our guest tonight." Ethan, still carrying the ache of losing his mother, looked at Lily with surprising gentleness. "You can sit with me. I'll share my blanket." And just like that, the little boy and the little girl found comfort in each other's broken pieces. But it wasn't easy. Taking Lily in wasn't just about offering her food and warmth, it was about healing wounds deeper than the skin. Nights were full of nightmares where she cried for her mother. Days were filled with doubt, as she whispered, "I'll slow you down, Mr. Hart. People won't understand why you help me." Daniel reassured her, again and again, that her worth wasn't measured by her speed or her legs, but by her heart. And slowly, Lily began to believe him. There were challenges, of course. Social workers came knocking, questioning why a busy CEO was caring for a disabled runaway. Some of Daniel's business partners whispered that he was losing focus, spending time at hospitals and therapy sessions instead of boardrooms. But Daniel stood tall and unshaken. "Money can wait," he told them. "A child's life cannot." For the first time in years, he felt alive, not because of deals closed, but because of the shy smile that Lily began to wear whenever she realized she was safe. One particularly emotional day came when Ethan and Lily were at the park. Ethan ran ahead, but when Lily stumbled, she froze in embarrassment, terrified people would laugh at her. But instead, Ethan came back, held her hand, and said loudly, "My sister walks just fine. She's the bravest girl I know." Tears filled Daniel's eyes as he watched from a distance. In that moment, he knew, Lily wasn't just a guest. She was family. Months passed, and with therapy, encouragement, and unconditional love, Lily blossomed. She began to laugh again. She started drawing pictures of her new family, where she, Ethan, and Daniel stood together under a sun that shone brighter than the one outside. Daniel, who once thought his heart had died with his wife, realized something beautiful. Sometimes, family isn't just the one we're born into, it's the one we choose, and the one that chooses us. The turning point came when Daniel filed the papers to adopt Lily. At the hearing, Lily clutched his hand, scared the judge would refuse. But Daniel looked at her with steady eyes and said, "No matter what happens today, you are my daughter in here," placing his hand over his chest. When the judge finally smiled and approved the adoption, Lily burst into tears. "Daddy," she whispered for the first time, her voice breaking. "Thank you for coming for me in the rain." Daniel hugged her tightly, promising silently that she would never feel unwanted again. And Ethan, wrapping his arms around them both, grinned and said, "Now I have a sister." Their home, once filled with silence and grief, was now alive with laughter, drawings on the fridge, and two children chasing each other in the halls. Daniel had gained more than he ever expected, not just a daughter, but a reason to live beyond business, beyond wealth, and this is where I turn.